Hey there, Spider Pals. It's Nathan here. I'm sitting down with Matthew.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to Coming Down. It's episode 7. This one's kind of just a short anecdote from my childhood, and I find it hilarious and weird, but this one's not going to really have any show notes, and yeah, there's no cultural relevance, so...
Yeah, maybe just a brief content warning for people who are creeped out by bugs.
Oh, yeah, there's some bugs stuff in here, so, but it's not too bad. But speaking of cultural relevance, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Stan Lee passed away today, and it's a real... bummer.
So goes a great light.
Yeah, and I found it so weird when I found out today because he's 95, and it's like I kind of knew that this was going to happen any day now, basically.
I mean, the guy was essentially well beyond anything that anyone ever expected. So.
Yeah. So it's weird because he was old, he had a long, full life, but also there's a part of me that thought he would just never go away, that he was just going to sort of be there forever.
Yeah.
And so it's still like a real bummer. And, the thing that people don't realize is the impact that he's had on everyone's life. I mean, I was a comic book fan growing up, so I knew who he was. But, if you've watched any Marvel movie ever or even just appreciated Spider-Man, and if that helped your moral compass, then Stan Lee has affected your life and done well for you. So, I don't want to go too long in the tooth about it, but goddamn, gonna miss that guy, and he was just a positive force in this world when we really need him.
Fucking A. Excelsior.
Indeed. So, we'll just get into the housekeeping stuff and then get you into the episode. Oh, right, we have a new Patreon, which is awesome. So, Sarah Stava, thank you so much.
Thank you!
Yeah, you put us over the threshold now, so now we're paid for. All our hosting costs are paid for. So, we're definitely going to sit down soon and come up with some next tiers for our Patreon and figure out kind of where to go next.
We're definitely going to try for the premium SoundCloud, and we're going to see where we go after that.
Yeah, totally. And, I guess maybe even what a lot of podcasts do and get some... better equipment down the road or something like that, But
we'll figure out some stretch goals and, some new tiers and rewards for you guys too as well.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. We'll be sitting down soon. Our dear friend Matthew here is going to Maui because, life's not cool enough, I guess. So we're not really going to miss any beats here, but as far as sitting down and figuring out the future of this thing, we're going to take a moment aside, but I promise, coming soon. We'll have lots of cool things.
Watch this space.
Yeah. So anyhow, Patreon. While we're on that subject, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/comingdownpod. We just have a $1 tier, so if you want to pitch any amount, we really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot.
Immensely.
And if you want to get in contact with us, you can follow us on Twitter @comingdownpod, or you can email us comingdownpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you if you have any ideas, suggestions, or if you want to be on the show, just hit us up. Speaking of, Sarah Stava hit us up, so we're going to get her on real soon.
Damn straight.
When schedules align.
And to all the other folks out there who have reached out to me that I have spoken to about scheduling, as soon as I get back from Hawaii, I'm going to be reaching out to you folks, and we're going to be scheduling some guests.
Yeah, this is super true. We actually have a kind of a long list of people who want to get on, so trust us when we say we'll get to you. We'll figure out the scheduling, and we'll make sure we get everyone on here. So, and then check out our website, comingdownpod.com. It's a fantastic site. It's running super smooth.
Oh, my God.
Some of the past episodes have great show notes. Again, this one probably won't unless we find anything weird, but
sure.
You definitely check that out. That has the links to get you everywhere, and all of those everywheres are, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud. Anywhere you find podcasts, we're on there. And if you have a second, just rate and review us on Stitcher and iTunes. It would really make our day. But yeah, beyond that, rest in peace, Stan Lee, and enjoy this silly tale.
weird.
Said it was there.
Fucking gremlins.
Yeah. Fucking... What was I... Oh, we were just talking about bad alcohol. At Devil's Point, I'm standing in line with Allison on Saturday, and fucking... behind the bar, they have the whiskey. I guess it was whiskey or bourbon, but it looks like it's in like a tin can. Looks like it's in a paint thinner can or some shit. And I nudged her. I was like, "You tried the paint thinner whiskey?" And she's like, "No." And the bartender was like, "Oh, have you ever tried it?" And I thought maybe she was gonna tell me it was really good, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah, we put it in a paint thinner can, but it's actually like really good. And so I said no, and she was like, "It is awful." and then she's like, "I'll give you a little taste." And yeah, pours me like a little quarter shot of it. It was fucking foul, dude. And it just gets worse. Like, yeah, like it was pretty bad and pretty harsh to like begin. Not smooth at all whiskey. And then the aftertaste just gets so bad.
Wow.
But then we were like joking about it all night. She's like, yeah, I come back up for another drink later. She's like, "You want another bad drink?" And I was like, "Oh, you want to ruin my night more?" Like, I'm still tasting that. Yeah, and then she was like, yeah, what'd she say? She's like, "Oh, it couldn't be any more ruined than my night," or whatever, because they're, super busy and she's stressed out and stuff. And then she's like, "How about you just come back here and sling drinks?" I was like, "All I serve is paint thinner whiskey." But yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Dude, that night was so wild too. And then we're outside. There's this couple. I don't know if you got there, but they're at the rack, like making out, which is tacky and weird. And then they're out on the bench outside, and the girl's just like mounted on the guy, and they're just like talking and snuggling and whatnot, but being super drunk. They're kind of cute, but also kind of dumb about it. But then like the dude, they're just so drunk, and the conversation was just this dude like trying to tell her how much he loves her and all this stuff, and then he's like asking me questions about. Well, first they were asking questions about, like, "Hey, do you think anyone, like, deserves to die?" and all this stuff. I was like, "No." Okay, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and all this weird shit. But then he was like... and then he's like, "Okay, like, say something mean about her. Like, I just want you to, like, see if you can even find something mean to say about her." And I, like, thought for a second. I was like, "Well, she has bad taste in men." It was pretty good. I definitely, like, paused a beat, was like... Do I say it? Is this dude gonna like flip a dime on me? But no, he was cool. He laughed and like we had a good chuckle about it. But
that's pretty much the best thing you could have said.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. God, it's always a fucking adventure at Devil's Point.
Every fucking time. I don't think I've ever showed up sober. Like I'm always 3 sheets when I show up.
Well.
There.
And you're best to show up a little late, too, because if you spend any time there at all, it just siphons all your money away.
Right.
And because it's just crazy. And I mean, the drinks are cheap, but you're still like, you gotta throw some dollars down for those ladies, man. They're freaking talented.
Exactly. And if you're not throwing dollars down like the whole time, you shouldn't be sitting at the rack, you know?
Right. And there's really kind of nowhere else to sit. Like, yeah. So you feel like weird, like sitting at the lottery machine or whatever.
Right. So like you either end up hanging out outside most of the night.
Yeah.
Or like you're there for a short amount of time.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
Stripperoke, I think, is like my favorite night to go there because the dancers aren't expecting a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
They're not taking off their bottoms. Like, they're drunk too.
Right.
It's a fucking great time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because they can't do any of the wild stuff while some idiots up there, like, belting out a song. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, now that they can't do the fire dancing anymore, Stripperoke's probably the best night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they've stepped their game up a lot. Like, you know, I'd say that they're getting close to where Sassy's was, like, 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
They're really fucking hot girls.
Oh, just with like
athletic.
the talented, talent.
You know, it used to be just like whatever kind of punk rock chick is willing to fucking swing around a pole.
Oh, right, yeah, like you got tattoos, and all right, you're in.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's like, oh shit! Like, no, these girls know how to dance. You know? Like they're very athletic and they're fucking showing off. You know?
Oh yeah. It's incredible. I mean, it's super impressive. I mean, it's enjoyable to look at naked girls, but watching. Yeah, just the athleticism on these girls, it's really impressive.
Yeah, dude. And they're obviously enjoying themselves and having a good time putting on a show. And like, that's a world of difference from some of the fucking places I've been. You know, like Hawthorne Strip used to be called Cocktails and Dreams, and it was just sadness and lies.
Oh, yeah. The Hawthorne Strip that's now on Powell.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rose City Strip.
Oh, right, yeah.
I always get those two confused for some reason. They're right next to each other.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, God. It's so weird that I can walk to... If I count that as walking distance, which I do, it's a 40-minute walk.
I walked there from Devil's Point.
Yeah.
Basically.
I can walk to 6 strip clubs, to say nothing of the, like, weird private shower show places that are around here.
Oh, I know. A bunch of those have cropped up in, like, the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, totally. Oh, God, what's the one on, like, North 82nd? Like, Honey Bunnies.
Right.
Yeah. And there's always just, like... just a house.
Yeah.
And there's always just like some girl in like a bikini just like out on the front porch like reading a book.
God damn it.
Just like, all right. Display model out front.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking Portland.
I know, man. It's wild. Word. All right. Well, anyway, I've got a story.
Go for it.
As we do on the show. This one's kind of short, so we can maybe get another one in after this or something. But this is just such a wild fucking thing. So it is, God, I don't know. I'm probably 10, 11 years old. 10 to 12, somewhere in there. And it's 4th of July. And I don't remember why he left, but we had gone to see the fireworks, came back to my dad's house, and he left on an errand. And me and my stepbrother are out front playing around. And all of a sudden we see the headlights kind of a few blocks away, and they're just erratic, just swerving all over the road. We're like, what is going on? And then as it gets closer, we realize it's my dad's car, and he's just crazy swerving and like driving fast too. And he flies up to the curb, puts the car in, or stops the car, puts the brakes on, comes flying out of the driver's side door, doesn't close the door, and is like holding his head screaming, like just screaming maniacal nonsense, just like, I don't even know, I can't even do an impression, just like like crazy screaming. And he runs into the house. And we're just like, what in the fuck is going on? And my dad, like, for the asshole he is, he's pretty mild-mannered. So, like, really don't see a ton of strange behavior out of him. So
this is very out of character.
Oh, extremely out of character.
Okay.
And so we get inside. He's talking to my stepmom. He manages to get the story out. What had happened is... he was driving back, and he had his driver's side window open just a crack, maybe an inch or less. And a moth flew through that crack, and then because it was such a small crack in the window, it basically, like, pressurized, like, the pressure, like, shot the moth.
Like putting your thumb over a hose.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just like, this moth flies in and straight into my dad's ear.
Oh, God.
Like, inside his ear.
What are the fucking odds?
Yeah, totally, right? And this moth is, like fully down in my dad's ear canal, and it's pressing on his eardrum, And the moth is freaked out and confused because it didn't know what happened. One second it was outside, next second it's trapped in a thing.
Right.
And
oh my God.
Yeah, and so it's just, and so it's right on his eardrum. And every time it flutters a little bit, it's like...
deafening.
Just insane pain for him.
Jesus.
So...
this is nightmare territory.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
And so he's just fucking losing his mind. And we're pretty poor. And so, like, he doesn't want to go to the hospital.
What? No, go. Jesus.
I know, like, we should have. But, like, I mean, we were, like, pretty fucking poor, so, and didn't have insurance and stuff, so,
All right.
Yeah, and I mean, him and my stepmom were definitely, like, running on fumes for the better part of that chunk of my childhood, so, it's like, okay, well, what do we do? And so my stepmom's like too freaked out to do anything about it. She like can't handle like what's going on. And so we get like a little one of those God damn it. I can't talk today. I'm so fucking out of it.
Tweezers?
No. So we didn't get to tweezers. We thought first we're going to basically put some water in there and see if it would cause it to like back it out. Yeah, maybe in hindsight that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
But that caused some other problems down the road. So we got one of those little things that you like remove snot from a baby or whatever. You know, those little squishy
little suction funnel.
Yeah, totally. And just sort of fill that up with water, and we're just like kind of dropping it in slowly to see if we could get it to move out. That obviously didn't work. So then it was tweezer time. However, we just waterlogged this moth.
Right.
So now its wings and its body are all like soft and mushy. And so so we basically like, my stepmom, my stepbrother like hold him down. I hold his head down, and we just like put him on the bed, and just like I get right on top of him and just start going in with the tweezers, trying to get this moth out.
This is so fucking brutal.
It is super brutal. And so I'm like grabbing it, and because it's all soft and mushy now, I'm just like taking chunks off.
Yep.
I'm just like, oh, there's like a chunk of thorax or whatever, or like a wing, like a half of a wing or whatever, and it's obviously like torturous for this moth, so it's fluttering and freaking out and causing my dad to like lose his mind even more.
Oh god.
Yeah. So this whole ordeal, I mean, it didn't last long. I mean, we did finally, I got it out finally. And again, mild-mannered dad, he's pretty born-again Christian at this point, so pretty like straight-laced. Finally get it out. He stands up, just sweating, face red, just fucking, you know, had just been through like torture basically. Snatches the tweezers with the moth out of my hands, walks into the kitchen, lights a lighter, burns the moth over the sink, throws the like ashes and like remaining carcass into the fucking garbage disposal, turns it on. As the garbage disposal is running, he's muttering and swearing like, fucking motherfucker.
Oh my god.
God damn it. Like all this shit. As the garbage disposal's running, he grabs a bottle of wine, pours a glass for me and a glass for him, and sits down. And, like, doesn't say a fucking word.
Today, son, you became a man.
Dude, yeah. It was, just unspoken, like, we're fucking drinking a little wine right now. Because, like, that had to have been terrible for you also. But, like, you know, and, like, yeah, it was all he could do to keep it together and not just, like, scream fuck at the top of his lungs, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So that, yeah, one of the weirdest fucking things that I've ever experienced. Like,
holy fucking shit.
It's one of those like 1,000,000,000,000 things, you know, like,
yeah. Oh my god.
Like, he's going the perfect speed, the window's open the perfect amount to create that pressure, moth flies right in there.
It's like your fucking family out on the prairie and Pa gets a fucking gunshot wound and there's no doctor, so you gotta dig the bullet out, son.
Dude, right? Yeah, man. It did feel like, yeah, it felt so weird. God, yeah. But I've told that story a lot because to this day it's just one of those things where I'm like, I can't even believe that happened.
I mean, the only reason I believe that it happened is because you're so fucking earnest. Like, the likelihood of that is just so bizarre. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. God, your poor fucking dad.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And, like, I really didn't know where the story was going either. Like, with the lead-in from the, like, crazy swerving and maniacal fucking...
Well, it was so... Yeah, I mean, it took a few minutes to even kind of process what was going on, and it was hard to even get the story out of him because he didn't really understand what happened.
Right.
You know, like, he's just driving along.
All of
next
a sudden,
second, yeah, like, insane pain. He's probably, like, clawing at his ear as he's trying to drive, and, like, yeah, when you get that kind of pain, he probably couldn't see very well either. Like, it's like migraine symptoms almost, you know,
absolutely.
getting spots in your vision and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I can't even
literally
imagine.
head-splitting pain, you know? Like,
yeah.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's like when you stick a Q-tip in too far, but that, like, constant and for a while, like...
Well, and a Q-tip with, like, hard bristles and stuff.
Dude. Oh,
know?
man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so fucking creepy and weird to think about. Yeah, he always had some weird luck with shit, though. I also remember when I was really young, he would bike to work and got stung by some wasp, like, on the neck while he was riding.
Ouch.
Yeah, and, like, multiple times, too. Just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I was hanging out in my grandpa's barn, and, you know, there were some bees in the air, but not like a swarm of them or anything. And then, like, I kind of noticed that, like, I could actually hear them after a certain point, and I was like, oh, that's... Yeah, you don't usually hear bees that much. There must be a few of them out here. And then I felt like I had a sliver under my shirt.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, ooh, weird. And so I'm, like, picking at it.
Oh, no.
And then it feels like I've got another one. And I'm like, well, that's weird. All of a sudden, I had like 40 slivers in my back.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, something's wrong! Oh, God! And I'm like, rubbing my shirt. And like, then 40 more slivers happen. And I'm like, fuck. And all of a sudden, I hear the fucking hornets.
Oh, no.
And they're all around me.
Why did they decide to get up in your shirt?
I was sweating. They were just like drinking my sweat, and like I could feel their little mandibles, you know, and it felt like, you know, pricking. And then they started stinging the shit out of me
because you were probing them, and
because I was smashing them. I was like smearing my shirt around.
Oh man!
And so then I just started running and screaming.
Yeah. What else do you do at that
point? And I get up to the house, and I must have, you know, said something about bees on my back because they like pulled my shirt off, and sure enough there was like 20 hornets on my back.
Jesus Christ.
Turns out I'm not allergic to bees.
Yeah, that's good. That's what a hell of a way to find out.
Right.
Golly, man.
Yeah, that was some fucked up shit.
Yeah. That's man. Bugs can be so terrifying.
Right.
Actually, this is appropriate too to kind of tie this one up. I took some mushrooms and went and saw that movie AI at the drive-in.
No way!
Which was awesome. To this day, I very much like that movie because of that experience.
I can only imagine how the ending must have been with.
Oh God! Well, and it's so long too, and so it just felt like.
Well, it's like 75% of the movie has one tone, and then it shifts completely at the end. You know?
Yeah. Well,
it's
yeah.
Like Spielberg.
Yeah, totally. No, so it was really enjoyable, but and it was, you know, summer night, and so it was back when you could just well, I think not back when, you can still do this, where you just tune in to the stereo, your car stereo. So we just put some blankets out and just opened all the doors in the car and just like cranked it up.
Fuck yeah.
We were just like laying out on the fucking gravel in the parking lot and watching the movie. All of a sudden, I'm kind of leaning back. You know, I'm sitting cross-legged and got my two arms behind me, kind of leaning on them. And all of a sudden, I kind of feel this little jab on my arm. And then I feel another, kind of like you said, like, oh, weird. And then kind of brush it and then feel another jab. And then, like, a bunch of little tiny jabs. And I look down and my hand is in a red anthill.
No!
And there are ants fucking swarming my arm.
Oh, my God.
And I was tripping, so I don't know how many there were, but I think there were a lot. I think I accurately saw what was going on and just freaked out. Just like started screaming and like swatting them off my arm.
Like you do.
Like you do, because you have no other choice. Oh God. And so then like get all the ants off my arm and shit. And like I did get bit a bunch, but I wasn't too sore or whatever. But the rest of the night, I'm just swatting at my arm. Like, anytime I felt anything.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck, is it an ant? Like, I can't tell. Like, the hairs and the moles on my arm are moving. So, like, I don't even fucking know, dude. So I'm just like, oh, God. Yeah. Amazingly, it didn't ruin my trip or ruin my night, but it was definitely not a fun moment in that evening.
Right. Oh, man. Dude, I identify with that story so much because I'm a hairy fucking dude. And like sometimes late at night, like one of my leg hairs or something will just be going the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it feels like a bug crawling on me. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wide awake.
Yep.
Out of like almost a dead sleep.
Yeah.
You know? Man, fuck my hair. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I have had that happen as well, and it sucks for sure.
It's the worst.
Yep. All right, sweet. Well, there's some bug stories.
Bugs crawling all on me.
Yeah, totally. So we'll take a little pause and come back and rock another one.
Thanks for listening.
All right.